Live from the heart of Florida, it's the 4GQ TV podcast starring Cerebral Paul, PKX Live, Animated Evil, Cozy Beluga, Frogboy Gaming, and your host, Clouds. Hey everyone, welcome to the stream. Hopefully everything's working correctly. But we're back with another episode of 4GQ TV. I might be a little bit delayed, but everybody else is not delayed. We try to go live in other places, but it didn't work. So sorry about that to everybody that tried to watch us there. Anyway, hope you're enjoying your evening, but there's some news that kind of got everybody upset again, and it's not that big of a deal, but we're going to talk about it. And you see it on the screen. But let me introduce the special guest tonight who's technically part of the podcast, but he usually doesn't make the main show. That is...
Thank you. Glad to be here. Oh, wait, you weren't talking about me. I'm sorry. My bad.
Oh, wait, do you have a beard with pineapples in it? No, we're talking about the bearded one over there. What's going on, Dripple?
Nah, not much. How you guys doing? Usually I'm kind of elsewhere when we do this stuff, so can't really make it all the time, but I'm here tonight, so happy to be here and happy to talk about pineapples.
Yes Paul's like, oh my god, shut up. And
yeah, please, I'm really getting tired of that shit every week, but go ahead.
Every week? It's my first time.
Yeah, he hasn't done it.
No, it's just not just you. It's never mind. Just
all right.
Just whatever. We
have Celebrity Apple Paul. Welcome to the show, Paul. How you been?
Fine. Yeah. Just been playing a lot of Skull and Bones, enjoying it for the most part. Yeah, I'm a lone dread pirate. Nobody wants to group with me, and none of my friends are playing the game, so it is what it is. So, but I'm enjoying it. So
nice.
Other than that, it's been a pretty chill week.
Okay. Well, glad to have you here, and that you haven't been bobbing for apples. And then sorry, no more pineapples, Paul. Don't worry. It's just apples. Apples to oranges. And Cozy, welcome to the show.
Woo-hoo!
And Pepper the bird, who is always with you. Welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. I've had a nice week. I have some good plans for the weekend. Going to a birthday party for a 1 and 3-year-old.
Nice. My dog has entered the chat.
Good.
Did you see it? So, birthdays are fun, definitely. But we have some news today. And you know what, folks? A lot of people are upset about this all over the internet. It is driving the internet crazy. People are swearing by exclusives matter, that exclusives sell consoles, and that everything should have exclusives, and nothing should never have no exclusives. And that's why PlayStation has Final Fantasy Rebirth, because exclusives matter. Maybe to Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis, but we are in a day and age where exclusivity does not really sell anything anymore. And even those exclusives that were on other systems, they didn't, man, the ratio of consoles sold to the exclusives is ridiculous. It's not even there. Like, everybody mostly plays Call of Duty, Fortnite.
Yep.
That's it. That's like the two main games everybody plays. So, my
Grand
opinion.
Theft Auto.
Was it?
Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, yeah, Grand Theft Auto is another one. Yeah, that's true. But in my opinion, Grounded, Pentiment, Hi-Fi Rush, Sea of Thieves going to PlayStation, Nintendo Switch doesn't really matter, because it just increases longevity of games like Grounded and Sea of Thieves. For Pentiment, it was kind of like a niche game anyway, right? Like, it really wasn't like a major thing to sell blockbusters and bonkers. And Hi-Fi Rush was like a sleeper hit on Xbox. It did really well. It did well on Steam. And you know what? It'll do well on the other platforms as well. So why not sell it where more people can buy it? It's not a problem. Xbox isn't going anywhere. PlayStation 5 isn't going anywhere. And neither is your Nintendo Switch. Or the Steam Deck, for that matter. But, alas, we are here after the internet has been enraged. So upset. Cry me a river. I'm going to go to our special guest, the bearded one, who looks like he's a pirate. Pirate Pool. How do you feel about these games going to everything else?
Really don't care. I mean, as a gamer, I'm happy to see more people have access to it. And I understand as an Xbox fan, it sucks to see something that was supposed to be on the Xbox side go somewhere else other than Xbox. And wait a second, it's already going on PC. So I guess it really doesn't matter, does it?
No,
You know what I
really
mean? So when it comes to that, there's really, I grew up in the arcade era where you could go to any arcade and pretty much play any game. There were certain games in certain arcades that you couldn't play because they didn't have access to them. They didn't, have the money to fund it, to have that rental. I remember the days of Mortal Kombat 3 where they had various versions. So depending on which arcade you went to, there were certain exclusive characters to those arcades, but you didn't know which ones they were. But for the most part, the majority of the characters were open to everybody. So in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't affect me. I still have access to the games I buy. I have access to the games that I play on Game Pass. As long as my price stays low on Game Pass and the games are valued at a reasonable price range, I don't see why it really matters. Because it's, when they go to PlayStation or Nintendo, they'll still have the Xbox logo, still saying who made it. So everything will still relate back. So I don't see an issue. I mean, I understand like certain bigger games to be an issue, but these ones here, I mean, people have already played Pentiment and one and done. So what's the big deal? Hi-Fi Rush, most people are still nostalgic about it, but it's been a one and done. Not very many people have played it multiple times. And then again, so does it really matter? I understand a corporation like Microsoft doesn't need money from PlayStation for those games, but it opens up the interest, and that's where really what it is. It's not about the money backing; it's about the interest to the game and the continuation for it. So, does it affect anything? No, not personally. Yes, Paul. I know you want to say something.
I do, actually. I was going to say, yes, Microsoft has the money, but they still want their Xbox side to make money. So, I mean, it is somewhat about the money thing. If they have these titles and they think they can have a little bit more incoming capital, if they put these titles on other platforms, that's business. That's how business works. I mean, and, they've been putting stuff on PC for a few years now. So the fact that they're expanding to Nintendo and, yes, PlayStation is actually good for us because that gives them more money to put into more games as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. At the same time, I don't see that as much more money. I see it as much more interest.
But and even Phil spoke to that last week when he said, it drives up interest in the Xbox, infrastructure in what Xbox has to offer, so to say. Because just by saying that, and I can tell you, probably not all the titles are ever going to go to the other platforms. They're always going to hang on to some, but yeah, the 4 games they've released, probably with the exception of Sea of Thieves, aren't going to garner a lot of interest. Though I think the music one will, because that was that one was almost seems like it was made for the Switch, and we got it first. Hi-Fi Rush, it looks like a Switch game, it plays like a Switch game, so why not? So, but like Sea of Thieves will probably do well because it's a multiplayer game, just like and it's not like this is new. I mean, Minecraft has been a multi-platform game since its inception, pretty much, and same with some of the other games that Microsoft actually oversees. So all this doom and gloom on Minecraft, this is the end of Xbox because why should I get an Xbox if I can play it anywhere? there are some games they're going to hang on to. You know, they're pillar games. I'm not too worried about these little. No, well, they're not all little, but like Grounded and Sea of Thieves are probably going to do well, especially if they have cross-platform play, which will be interesting because PlayStation isn't real big on offering cross-platform play to other platforms. But we'll see if that changes over time too, at least to PC, because even they're starting to put some of their titles on PC. Even they know that if they want to, you know, get more players involved with their games, they have to expand beyond the console. So to me, this is a little bit of Xbox once again being ahead of the curve in some ways.
Yeah, and that's the
So
thing is,
right,
Sony even said that PlayStation, even their exclusives aren't cutting it, so they have to go to PC.
right,
So right there, that tells you right again that
yeah,
Xbox is ahead of the curve. They always get the blame for everything. What is it? The Xbox tax, anything else you want to label to it. It gets, it's funny that it's like a broken record to the
yeah,
point where it sounds like it's fictitious, but then when you look at the history, it's always been like that because of Microsoft. Microsoft's had that history
yep,
of the bad voodoo juju placed on it from its predecessors, Bill Gates.
yep. And
So
sometimes it's ahead of the curve and it has to cut back. I mean, you know, what happened to Connect? Connect was ahead of the curve. Look at us now. You know, we're right where we were 13 years ago.
yeah, I
Yeah.
don't want Xbox listening into my conversations, but yet we carry these phones.
Yeah. That's right. Your phone, and if you have a if you have any of the home automated assistants, they
Siri,
all listen. Yeah.
Alexa,
Yeah. I just don't say the name because I have one sitting back here that
Alexa,
what to do. So
Alexa, play 4GQ TV.
It's really
yeah.
interesting because if you spend a lot of time in spaces where there are people that spend a lot of time on those games, they're all really excited for the most part. So you get people who are like, they may have played the game and just like moved on, but then you get people who like, I come back to this. I do this regularly. Like, people with like thousands of hours in like Grounded and Sea of
Yeah.
Thieves, and they're like, oh yes.
Yep.
And even the people that have like played through Pentiment multiple times, there's a lot of excitement because they want to see more people experience them.
And some of their friends who are on the other platforms can now play with them for Sea of Thieves and Grounded and can experience Pentiment, you know. So yeah. So this is a good thing.
Right.
It's not a all of a sudden everything's gonna go over there. No, stop it. Don't be that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the sky is falling.
Yeah.
2013 was a different story.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been saying for a few years now on any show that I've been on where it comes up that exclusives don't play the same key role that they used to. Not even close, you know. And Phil kind of made note of that during his speech too and said, look, in 5 to 10 years, exclusives really aren't going to mean much of, much of anything, so to say. They're still going to be there, but they're not going to hold the importance they used to hold.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I kind of agree. I think the exclusive idea is kind of dying now as we speak, right? I think next generation is going to be like the last real hardware generation, regardless of what companies tell us right now, and I don't think it's going to matter as much.
Right.
I don't think so. Maybe once the cloud platform goes full platform and Microsoft, really pushes xCloud everywhere, then maybe they might say, well, we got this exclusive on xCloud that you can only play through our service.
And some are gonna. I'm like things like I don't think Halo's ever gonna go anywhere. At least no time soon. No time, or some of the like Gears will probably never end up on a.
Yeah, the flagship stuff that's synonymous. Phil
Right.
even said he wouldn't do anything that would hurt the brand. It would only be beneficial to the brand to go that way. So again, Gears, Halo, Forza, those things will stay there for a long time. And again, everything will change. Nothing's in perpetuity.
Right. And that's the other thing people forget. Well, 4 years ago he said this. Well, that was 4 years ago. The business space has changed, so they're allowed to change their plan. It's like,
Decades ago, they both were third parties.
yeah, yep.
True.
But that's what always happens. Everybody points out some statement that was made back in 2017. It's like, okay, that was then. This is now. And any.
Oh,
Go
go ahead,
ahead.
Paul.
I was just going to say, and any of us that have been involved in any kind of business or a board type where you got to make decisions, things like that happen all the time, because situations change, so.
The other thing I was going to say is that I think is a little bit ridiculous is that all these people that are touting exclusives on PlayStation right now and Nintendo Switch, you have to realize something. Like, yes, Microsoft has the Xbox, and Xbox is a console for Microsoft, but Microsoft also has Windows PCs, right? And imagine if Microsoft made Windows PC run only exclusive Microsoft Studio games, right? They would never get away with that because of the European Union. But it's no different than the PlayStation 5, which is based on a Unix kernel. Kind of like doing the same thing with the PlayStation 5 hardware and say, no, only licensed PlayStation games could be here. You can't have, nothing else can run. Imagine if, seriously, no, for a second, imagine if Microsoft did that. The kind of backlash they would get.
Yep.
They always get backlash.
Yeah. Sometimes think it's just because, unfortunately, the world views them as an untrustworthy source, which is not true. I'm waiting for Paul to say something. He looks like he's about to say something. Paul, you about to say something?
No, there's something else going on with them that it has to do with security and stuff that isn't, we don't need to talk about on this show.
Oh, okay. Secrets with Paul. I get it.
No, it's just that there was an article today that dropped about their security for their email systems. So there's a reason some people don't trust them even today, but still that really has nothing to do with, the narratives we get with this, because it's really not, as far as the gaming side goes, all this they can, it seems like, every time something like this comes up, so the same stuff could have come up with Sony, and I bet you the backlash wouldn't have been as big as far as the, all the them, because that's funny to watch, because even, they'll never release this, that, or the other thing to PC, and all of a sudden Spider-Man's coming to PC, and all of a sudden those same people, this is a good thing.
Yeah, but at first they were throwing their PS4s out there. They were running them over. They were throwing them in the pools. They were doing whatever they could to tear apart their room.
Yeah, those overreactions are so
man babies on purpose just to get the eyeballs on to their channels. That's all it was, and it's all it ever will be. And it's just funny how now they're sitting back and laughing at the same thing that the other side's doing, and it's like, I understand you can have those feelings. I know the hot take, gut reaction would be that you're allowed to feel that way, but at the same time, think logically.
Right.
These are companies, and they're there to make money. They're not there to be our friends. Some people are friends, but overall, their job is to make money, not to be our friends.
Well, and I never will understand the idea of they betrayed me. They betrayed us. What do you mean they betrayed you? They're not beholden to you for anything. I don't.
That does happen all too often.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah. So again, I understand the initial reaction to feel that way, but when you're held to a higher responsibility like that, you need to be more responsible with your actions, especially in the public forum.
Well, Cozy, any other things you want to say on this topic?
I'm just I guess maybe because I'm mostly a PC player, I don't really have the same sort of concern for that. Like, I'm getting the games.
Yep.
That's the thing. Be a gamer. You're a gamer. We're all gamers. We're not like we have preferences. But
Hang on
we're
a second.
okay.
Oh,
Okay.
something
So anyway,
happened over there. So, the next thing I want to bring up is that PSVR 2 is going to add support to for PC support this year in 2024, and I think that this is a pretty big deal. Frogboy posted this. I know that they have been working on stuff like this anyway. Modders in general have been trying to get this thing working on the PC with the controllers, and they're very close. So I think that PlayStation's probably like, you know what? They're gonna do it before us. We might as well make money off this. So let's go ahead and do it and just get it out there because these modders are not going to stop. And we've seen what happened with the Vita, the PSP, the PS3, the PS4. So let's just do it, guys. We're going to do it. Make everybody happy. And I think that's a good way to add longevity to it. Sorry, guys, if you see what's going on over there at Paul's screen, pay no mind. It's his neighbor in the window, or a
TikTok
bad gif.
Yeah.
Paul, turn those gifs off, man. Not good.
Uh,
So I think this is good for PSVR 2 and the PlayStation. I think it's positive. And I think it's positive for PC gamers because they get to enjoy the benefits of a product they've already purchased that feels like it's not getting support on the PS hardware anymore.
yeah. I don't know that moving it to PC is going to get it much more support anyway, actually, but we'll see what happens from a game development or a app development standpoint.
yeah. See, and that's the thing is a lot of people have been pushing ever since the PSVR 2 came out, have been pushing to ask for PC integration, not just the modders to like hack into it, but for Sony and PlayStation to support a PC integration, so that way we could get more games to that market.
Right.
And without that push, it's just a closed ecosystem that modders are trying to hack through to get out there. And for that price point, it's still kind of pricey, and now obviously Jim Ryan's gone. Sean Layden's been gone for however long. So now you're seeing that Sony is, in fact, looking at the numbers and saying, hey, look, we've got this product here and we're not doing anything with it. So we need to do something. And, so props to them for finally looking into it and trying to do something more than trying to keep a gate and people out and only the loyalists in, you know what I mean?
It's a great thing. I've been like confused as to why they didn't. I mean, I guess they thought they could get it wouldn't be that valuable to add PC support. But there's a lot of cool things about the PSVR that I think are definitely valuable.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. If you were able to, let's just put it this way: what if and I've thrown this out there before. What if they decided, hey, look, we'll open this up to PC so we can play PC games here, but you can't play the Sony games on PC unless you have the PSVR because they've locked it down to the PSVR. I know it's a closed wall syndrome, but at the same time, that could have been the direction that they went, but they held off for so long. Now it looks like that direction is no longer valid, because they could have opened it up to more and still held it, within the confines of PlayStation. But they're just, there's just too much competition out there on the PC market now.
Yeah, no, I agree. Cozy, anything else you want to add to this?
No, I don't know. It's a pretty cool VR headset. So not being available on PC, I was always like, but why? But yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Shh.
Well, moving on to the next topic. We'll just keep it moving. Yeah, sorry everybody for the late start today, man. I had some technical issues here. On top of that, Dreadpool had technical issues too, so it's just one of those days.
Last
And
minute.
yeah, and Paul will attest that it's not a podcast unless it starts at 7:00
Yeah.
these days.
That's right. We should just change the time to 7:00 and be done with it. But
You
then
should-
we'd start at 7:30. So
I was gonna say you should change it to 6:00, so you start at 6:30.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I like that. I like that. I see where you're going.
See?
See,
Well,
we used to do that when I used to work at a school and we'd have field trips. We'd tell the kids like a half hour earlier than we actually needed to depart because guaranteed they were going to be late anyway. So,
Yeah.
well, the next topic is something I'm super excited for, and I know that our friend Phantom's Menace would be very excited for this. She always cosplays as Tiny Tina. Every time I see her, she loves doing videos and photos of the cosplay because she is fantastic with the cell shading. And she does, honestly, she is so good at it that she even crafted some Borderlands weapons in like 2 hours with the cell shading. And it's, it's stuff's not easy for a lot of people, but she's very super talented and great at it, and Ashaka as well for Star Wars. But Borderlands, the movie trailer, who's hyped besides me? Anybody else hyped?
I'm looking forward to it. I don't know if I'm hyped.
That's one of those I would never pay to see it.
What?
Yeah. It's
mean-
a movie.
Get her, Pepper.
It's-
Get her, Pepper. Pepper. Get her.
It's a movie.
I'm excited for the movie, but I'm not hyped for it. I just only because of the brand I'm hyping. You know what I mean? So it's I'm interested to see what it's about. We know the game, but I want to see what the movie's going to be about, and just see how well they do, because there are certain inconsistencies with the characters. But we'll see what happens. We'll see how well they pull it off.
Okay. Paul?
I mean, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I don't know that not that I wouldn't pay to see it properly, but I don't go to theaters anyway. So, but
Paul, you're killing me.
I mean, dude, it looks good though. I mean, I do like what I saw. I don't know how annoying, Jack Black is going to be as Claptrap, but
It's Jack Black. He's annoying.
I know, and add that into the fact that Claptrap is very annoying in the game after a while,
If androids became real and everybody had one in their house, I know they're working on them, so they're kind of real. I would like a Claptrap.
Oh my god.
Oh, that
I would
be
like
annoying.
one, but I think I'd like the one that would where I can turn off the Richard Pryor mode or the Eddie Murphy mode. I think that would be great.
I would put that in hyper mode. And I would take Paul out to the Hilton to eat some pizza with Claptrap.
Oh wow, they'd eat cardboard for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm really excited for this. I really love the fact that they put Titan Tina in there. I think, I'm not sure if I'm feeling Kevin Hart in this. I know he's a great actor. He's a great comedian, and I love his stuff. I don't know how he's going to fit into the Borderlands universe. I got to see the movie to kind of feel it out. Deadpool's shaking his head no. I don't think
Idris
so.
Elba would have been a better
Absolutely
pick.
not.
Just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, I like him. I like Kevin Hart, but again, this is why I don't want to pass judgment on the movie, because we don't know what the movie's about. Maybe they will fix the character so it makes sense. I don't know. See, and that's the part that I'm not hyped over. Certain characters don't make sense. The whole Jack Black, Kevin Hart, those are like the main two ones, but still, it's just we got to see how the movie goes and how they explain these characters and how they portray these characters.
Well, I
So-
mean, Jack Black makes sense for Claptrap. I mean, it's serious. I think he'll do fine there. Which part is Kevin Hart playing?
Oh, he plays Roland.
Oh, okay. That'll be interesting.
It's certainly a choice.
Yeah.
Guys, you know what? I'm excited. I would go see this in the theaters. And I would proudly wear a Borderlands shirt. You know what?
No, you need a cosplay in Borderlands.
Yes, I will call Phantom's Menace up and be like, hey, can you make me some cosplay of Borderlands? Because I would go to the movies dressed as the character.
You're short and stout enough. He can make you Claptrap. We'll just put a box around you.
Oh, what? Listen to this guy. No. I would be the Gunzerker, Paul. The Gunzerker.
No, I'm thinking Claptrap.
Wait a minute. You could be Claptrap because Claptrap has wheels.
Yeah.
He has a wheel.
Yes, he has a wheel.
So
Yeah.
we get
wheel.
Paul a uniwheel.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that'll work.
Paul,
That would be awesome, Paul.
have you practiced uniwheels yet?
I can't, dude. If I could balance, I could walk. I want you to think about that.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
There's guys in lawn chairs on Uniwheels just riding down with everybody else.
Yeah, but they can balance. I can't balance. That's part of my condition, is the fact that I have no good sense of balance.
We'll give you two poles on each arm to ski down. That way you can keep your balance. You'll look like a 747 or something. Two wheels on the side.
Okay.
With that, I'll be right back. Okay.
Wow, Paul's like gonna get some pizza now.
I did order the pineapple for him.
Did you?
Yeah.
Nice.
Sent it to his house. It should be getting delivered anytime soon.
I think he's yelling at you as we speak. He's not happy about this.
He's thanking me for the pizza. See, and now he's.
Is that what
Yeah,
happened?
you don't have my address, so yeah, bite me.
Oh yeah. You don't want me to say it on air.
Oh wait, what? You know what? Speaking of addressing issues, Helldivers 2 is having a lot of server issues, and lately, I'm trying to find the article here, but Sentinel Gaming talked about he wanted to buy the game, and we know Sentinel on Twitter. He's a good guy. And he was saying that he would, or Sergeant Sentinel Gaming, I should say that correctly for everybody. So he was thinking about buying the game with his, with some money. And the CEO said, if you have no cash, get it later. We made a really fun game. It's worth waiting until the servers can support the capacity. And the CEO goes on to say, as the CEO, of course, I want the game to be as profitable as possible. But if you spent your last money and got stuck in a server queue, I'd be heartbroken. So how do you guys feel about that? Do you think like the CEO, it's good to see a CEO being honest out there about Helldivers 2? Or do you think that, they should just be fixing the servers instead of trying to do PR on Twitter?
After you,
I
Cozy.
think they did right. I say this as someone who's excited to see this game be insanely successful.
How about both? And I want my money back. Okay, give me.
Can you do that, Paul? Can you play the game and get your money back these days?
Not on PlayStation. You can't.
Oh, not on PlayStation. Is that what you meant to say?
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, on Xbox they give you 2-hour playtime and also some other reasons that you can still get a refund on. With Sony, it's pretty much once it's installed on your hard drive and once you open it, you own it.
Yeah, but Xbox won't let me play it right now.
No, I'm saying in general how they do the games, because
Yeah, I know.
I paid for, I used a little my Twitter payout to buy the game, and I can't play the game. It sucks, not because of the queues, but because of the way the controls work. I can't do it, so I will now have a $40 game sitting in my account that I will never use probably.
Yeah, just let somebody else play it for you.
Yeah, I'm not giving anybody my password, my gamer tag. No. I'm not going to be one of those people going, I got hacked. Yeah, no, you didn't. You gave me your information, you fool. And they, yeah. course, I've only got one other game that I own on the account. So if
Is
somebody
it
really
Final
wants
Fantasy
that,
Rebirth?
more power to them. No, it's Until Dawn from Supermassive or Telltale Games, the first game they ever did. You know, and it's only on PlayStation right now. Still. So
It's getting a remaster again.
yeah, I heard. Yeah. Too bad it's not getting put on other platforms. Yeah. Because it is a very good game. It is a very well done game. So yeah, if you haven't played it yet and you have a PlayStation, go play it.
Okay. Cozy, anything on Helldivers 2?
I love it. I love the first one. I'm glad to see this one's a success because I will sing the praise. I've been singing the praises of like Helldivers forever, and I didn't even expect us to ever get a sequel. So I'm like, yay!
Well, Cozy's been championing Helldivers 2. R2. She loves Helldivers in general, but the server issues, I'm with you on that. Like, I'm concerned. Like, should I get it?
No,
Cozy said no. So
no.
is it a wait and see approach?
So from the first game, like I'm guessing, like there was a small community, and the small community just they played regularly and consistently. So I would say the game will be there. The people playing it will be there. The only thing you might miss out is a lot of the initial FOMO.
Okay.
Well, if they don't get the servers fixed soon, they're not going to have FOMO or anything else because nobody's going to be there trying to play it. So
Well, it's funny saying that, right? I watched several people complaining about server issues, only having it a couple times. I've watched a couple people on TikTok and Shorts literally go quick play and they're in. So I think again, some of these server issues are depending on where you're at. Could be misleading with a mass report, but at the same time, you might be one of those people that doesn't have that access because of the logistics of it. So it's hard to say exactly.
well, it's not necessarily misleading so
They're at
much as load
capacity. That's
issues.
the problem.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. That's what I'm getting at.
Because I got in once and then the same day I couldn't get in later. So yeah.
Right, but the logistics is when you're at max capacity, nobody can get in. But are you playing at that time, or were those people playing at an off time? I don't know, so I can't tell
Yeah.
you that those people that were able to get in right away were getting in at a different time where they wouldn't have max capacity. You know what I'm saying? So that could
Right.
be, let's say, 8 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock in the morning Eastern. So while everybody in the U.S. is still asleep, they're able to get in. So I
Right.
don't know. That's what I'm getting at. Where everybody else is saying, "Hey, it's 5 o'clock East, or let's say 5 o'clock Central, and we're trying to get in." Well, you got the whole Eastern side already in there locking it up, and now you got more people as it happens, Eastern and Mountain getting in between 5 and 4 their respective times, and because Eastern is already locked up, you can't get in. So that's what I'm getting at. I don't know the logistics of these people in their locations and what times they're going. That's why I'm not going to say that it's literally this or that. We do know that they only have so much space on those servers, and they have been adding stuff, and they did release a patch that they had to roll back on because it was causing issues. One of the more recent patches was opening up to more servers, and they had to roll it back because those added servers were causing issues. So they had to roll back that patch. So there are many different facets as to what's going on. You look at the first game, the first game and this game are totally different. Right? So with the play style. So the amount of interest from the first game, they didn't think they're going to, they used what they had as reference for the second game. They overexceeded the amount of interest for the second game. They even said that they actually spiked the interest in Super Troopers. What was
Yeah.
it?
Starship Troopers.
Starship
Super
Troopers. Yeah.
Super Troopers is by Broken Lizard. That's a different thing.
It's a totally different one. Starship Troopers. So again, they've sparked a huge increase in interest in the movies. So it goes to show that they weren't expecting this. They weren't, they were not ready for this amount of influx of gamers. So whether or not you're able to get in, it just depends on the circumstance and your timing and what's going on. So as far as I recall, the first one was a twin stick shooter, and this one here is a third person over the shoulder side.
The first one was a top down. It wasn't really a twin stick.
Yeah, that's a twin stick. Twin stick is top down.
But it pretty much had the same mechanics, just different perspective.
Yeah.
It wasn't that different.
Smash TV, twin stick shooter.
Okay.
So,
any other opinions on this?
Can't wait to try it out. I want to smash some bugs, shoot them up.
Yeah, I definitely do too.
Do you want to buy a PlayStation account? No, I'm kidding.
What, Paul? Wow, listen to this guy.
Let me try that 14-day trial first.
Yeah.
Wow. Paul, listen to this guy over here. Sony's biggest promoter.
I'll send it back with the pineapple pizza.
Well, it's it goes to one of my biggest shout outs for Game Pass. It allows me to try games without paying for them for this very reason. So,
well, speaking of Sony, Mark Wahlberg got a call from Sony, and they told him to start growing his mustache again. So it's good news for Uncharted fans. As an Uncharted fan, I did fall asleep halfway through the first movie.
Oh, I enjoyed the movie for what it was.
For what it was, I liked the movie. It was good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, guys, good news. It appears, according to Mark Wahlberg, they're making a sequel. And are you guys super excited about this? Let me hear your enthusiasm. Do I hear enthusiasm?
Yeah.
You know what?
Nah.
Hold on. Let me help you guys out because
I watched half the first one and then was like, then I paused to do something else and never went back.
Oh, jeez. I actually saw it in the theaters.
Wow, you guys are really excited now. That really upped the game. Congratulations for your excitement, man. Sony.
Good for people that are excited to see it.
Yeah.
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 I thought it was good, but you definitely have to suspend any sense of reality because, like, the 400-year-old ship that gets crashed on things and doesn't break apart, at some point you kind of gotta go, okay, whatever.
Somehow fitting through the hole to land in the little spot that it's in. But yeah, it's like the, I don't know, call it what it is. Wannabe Goonies.
Yep.
Only without the truffle shuffle.
Oh, that might have made it better. No, I'm kidding.
Hey, I'm wearing the shirt. Truffle shuffle. Not literally, no.
No, yeah. He does not mean that literally, folks. Let's calm down in the audience there. Hey, what's up, Death Dealer? Welcome to the chat. The pirate is in the lower right-hand corner on the screen. He's got a big beard. Don't know if you've ever seen that guy before. But other than that, I think, to be honest with you, is not a whole lot of topics left for the week. The other thing was Nintendo Direct had a showcase and basically some games.
Very nice of them to showcase Microsoft's games, but it's
wow, Paul. First you stand for Sony, right, with accounts. Now you're standing for Microsoft. I don't understand you, Paul.
Well, wait a second. How do you know that they were Microsoft games? Because there was no Microsoft logos.
Oh, you started a conspiracy theory? Are you saying?
I'm just asking questions. Just asking questions.
You trying to say that Nintendo is buying some of this stuff outright and owning these studios? Is that what you're trying to?
No, I think what it is they're trying to let you understand that it's on another game platform versus Xbox. So that way, again, it's going to be in the game when you pop it in your Nintendo. The Xbox Studios are going to pop up. It's just the fact that they want to be able to know, for you to understand that when you buy this version, it is for the Nintendo. So it's not really to not advertise Xbox, but it's also to make sure that you understand that when you buy in this you're buying it because it's for your Nintendo, and this is why you're doing that.
Right.
That's all it is. It's not we forgot our own platform. It's not that. It's just to make sure you realize that you're buying it for Nintendo. This is advertisement for Nintendo. This is Nintendo's thing. That's all it is. It's not a big deal. I'm not saying, everything's fine and dandy, but let's not make it a bigger deal than it actually is.
Okay.
All games are gonna go to other platforms.
Except
Not
for
all.
Nintendo. Nintendo
All of
games.
them,
No,
except for
they
Nintendo.
they won't
Nintendo will
all
hold on
go.
to it.
They're both going to hang on to some of their pillar games. They're not all going to go.
Oh, you didn't hear,
No.
Paul? Game Pass is going to Nintendo.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And now you got everything on Nintendo. No, I'm kidding.
Even if
I'm
Game Pass
kidding.
went to Nintendo,
Game
it would
Pass
probably
isn't going anywhere.
But even if it did, only the cloud access stuff would probably go. Because that Switch can't run some of the bigger games, no matter what you try to do to it.
Yeah. Game Pass itself will not go anywhere except for stay on Xbox. That will be the only exclusive thing that's out there. Will be that it's on Xbox and PC. It will not go to the other platforms.
Right.
For now. However, like you said, the game cloud portion of the games that they have would make sense to go to Nintendo.
Right.
So, and that could also happen for PlayStation. So just saying, using Azure. Oh wait, Sony's contracted to use Azure too. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it's been like that for a while.
And almost everybody uses Windows.
How about what was it? Physics? That is Microsoft owned. So everybody uses Physics. Everybody uses, what was the other one? Fusion or something like that. I can't.
Yep.
There's so many different engines that do different things that all these companies have investments in that all the other companies are using also. So when it comes to devs, they use everything that they need to use for their games, and it doesn't matter who it's from. You're still using a piece of somebody else's stuff. So don't worry about it. This is why it doesn't really matter. They don't care. Why should you?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
they're companies.
Just saying.
Right? Yeah, no, seriously. Yeah, you
I'm
should.
not- Yeah, I'm saying the devs don't care. The publishers don't care when they're using these technologies. So why do you care? That's all I'm getting at.
Yeah.
I got to step away for a minute. I got something happening here. So if I'm not back by the end of the show, say my goodbyes for me. But I'll try to get back here as fast as I can.
All right.
I guess he's gonna finish off that pineapple pizza.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, you got it in. Hey, Paris, if you're watching, send him. He could use a pineapple pizza. From Domino's, just pineapples, no sauce, and cheese.
I heard the Hilton delivers.
Ooh, he's already gone. He's like, screw you guys, I'm out. R2, maybe where you are, but here in the U.S., at least in our part of Florida, the cloud gaming experience works really well. I don't have any issues with FiOS on Wi-Fi 5 gigahertz band. I don't have any issues over 5 gigahertz on the cell phone either, outside of the house. So it's okay over here. And I think in most parts of America where we have high-speed internet, I don't know.
I played Jusant in Hawaii, and I was using my brother-in-law's Wi-Fi on my phone. I played Jusant, and I had no issues. Okay, and my brother-in-law at that time was playing what is it? Dota 2 or something like that. He was playing one of those games. So if you think about it, if he's playing that with multiple players, and teams, and I'm playing Jusant with no issues. I mean, I'm not going to say that you know everywhere is going to be fine, everywhere is going to be good, but he did have slow service. Even when I was uploading my videos, it took hours to upload videos. So the service itself, the experience wasn't that bad, and I was able to play. I wasn't trying to play competition games. I wasn't doing any quick first-person shooter action, competition. None of that stuff. So overall, it's not that bad. So it just depends on who your ISP is and how close you are to the servers. We're here in Florida. The closest servers we have is Virginia and Texas. Those are our two closest Microsoft super centers that we can connect to. So when it comes to that, look at the distance, and I was on an island in Hawaii doing the same thing and didn't really have any issues. So I know in the middle of the States, but it also depends on your service. I mean, I've had Spectrum, 4 o'clock in the morning, nobody should be around. And I've had so much lag and rubber banding that I had to get rid of it. Once I was able to get rid of Spectrum, I got the Fios and I had no issues. So that could be part of the issue is the ISPs.
So I've played it on a variety of devices, and I used to play it more before there was actually a lot of games that would now have wait time, because that used to be the way I played Forza. So for whatever reason, I can't do it on Wi-Fi where I live, except if I'm on my phone. It works flawlessly on my phone, but if I try that on my Xbox or my computer, it does not. But at my sister's place, she has very low service, and hers worked flawlessly wireless, and I haven't tried hers wired, but
yeah, that's the other thing I forgot to mention. Like you're just saying, your router. If you got one of those cheap routers, that could be a big issue. I had one of those cheap routers too at one point in time. It was just enough to get you the internet, get what you needed to do. I've got a $600 router now because I spent the extra money because I didn't want to have those issues. A little overkill, but I also have other things that are wireless that I require. So I need to have that space for wireless devices. So I had to spend a little extra money for that. So again, my case scenario, I had to justify the extra money for that. But again, a $20 router or the ISP's router that they give you, not enough, not good enough.
Well, that's not true, because it works the same no matter what router I use at home. I have like 8 routers. But it works the same, and it works fine on my phone. Not on mobile, on my phone, on Wi-Fi. But not on the Xbox.
We'll have to go over, when you get a chance, we'll have to go over the routers that you got. We'll look at it and figure out. There could be a couple settings.
It's not that big a deal because I don't use Wi-Fi in general. I was just testing it out.
I don't mind. I like
mostly because I keep everything wired and I'd have to unplug things.
No, you don't have to unplug things. Like I said, I don't mind helping.
But yeah, it's other than that, I've not had issues other than the wait time for things. It's unfortunate because it means then I have to install games, which I hate doing.
See, that's the other thing I've noticed since they first started to now. They've increased wait time to get on, and I don't know why that is. But there is a lot more of an increased wait time where you used to only wait a few minutes. Now you're waiting 5 to 10 minutes, sometimes longer. I've walked away and forgot that I was playing a game, and it finally kicked on saying, "Hey, you're not there," because I literally forgot. So that's an issue on on the Xbox cloud side. But
Yeah, I was using it probably 90% of the time, and then more like sometime late last year, that's when I started noticing the increase in wait times. Was
yeah,
that the same for you? Where you noticed it like later last year?
yeah, that's about it. Something mid last year to late last year. I did notice though that Tiny Giant played Forza on the Xbox One X, and there was no noticeable difference. She was able to drive and steer and do
Oh
everything she
no.
needed to do. She was good when it came down to it, but I have no idea how long she waited to play it.
Yeah, no, it's that's like the biggest game that I play on, probably my most played cloud game
Yeah,
before I just downloaded it.
but that's the thing though. Her attention span, because she is a little child, that's why I'm questioning as to what happened, because she was able to get in and play that no problem. And again, it looked great. It looked wonderful. The controls, I even sat down and you know ran a couple laps, and it was indistinguishable basically for the most part. But then again, I also have a higher broadband speed. I've got FiOS, which is guaranteed, versus Spectrum, where I'm sharing, and they say, "Oh yeah, you have this guaranteed, no problem." And I know I don't, because I can test.
Wait,
And
Spectrum is shared?
yes,
Ew.
your cable modem is shared.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that is
That's
true.
Ew.
that's why when you get to 5 p.m. your time, usually that you start seeing a slowdown. Um,
What?
yeah, that's because there's more people getting out of work and getting on.
What?
Kids are getting on. Yeah, you're sharing it within the space.
That's not right.
Yep.
Well, I'll never get Spectrum.
Well, they're
Some
working
people, some
on
people don't
fixing
have a
it.
choice. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't. We didn't have a choice for a while. As soon as they had Frontier, I hopped on it, never looked back.
Yeah.
But Spectrum's working on it, so and then what's the other one? Comcast. They're another one that you gotta.
Oh, yeah. We don't have that even here. We
But
have Spectrum, but not Comcast.
I will say though that they are working on asymmetrical lines now,
Yes.
which means that it'll be equivalent to almost like having files. Like for example, in the Philadelphia area, Comcast's home area, they have a trial with 10 gigabytes up, 10 gigabytes down, asymmetrical, and the people that have it love it. Right?
Do they still cap?
It depends where you are in the country. The Midwest has caps in some places. The West Coast has caps in some places, but on the East Coast that I know of, I don't know anybody on the East Coast with caps.
Certain providers provide that if you go for the cheaper piece, but overall, most of them got rid of it because of the fact that nobody's using it. They'd rather spend the extra money because there's no point in using caps. You use it up in a day or two now. So back in those days when we were dial up and moving on to broadband, there was a reason to have caps. Nowadays, yeah, you just can't.
Yeah. Well, for an episode with a lot of technical difficulties, didn't air where everybody was supposed to, and Paul's neighbor in the window. I think it's time to call it a night. It's just one of those nights. It's a bad luck. We started 30 minutes late, but I do appreciate everybody that came out to the chat and hung out with us. I appreciate Dreadpool hopping on. I know that usually this is his sleep time and he's snoring like Santa
Sleep
Claus.
time.
Yep.
Don't go to
His
sleep.
cookies are left out with milk from when he wakes up.
Don't go to sleep. It's an overrated experience.
But to everybody who came out, thank you very much. Thank you, Death Dealer. Thank you, R2, for chatting, and anybody else who may have been lurking tonight. And to everybody who tried to wait before we started and it never started, I apologize to you on other platforms as well. But without further ado, let's go on and do the outros. And started with drum roll. I'm bad at that,
Oh,
Dreadpool. Can you help
my
me out?
bad. My
Oh
bad.
man, I thought you were
My
ripping
bad.
one or something. I was like,
Oh,
whoa, what are you
did.
doing?
Yeah. There you go.
My bird
There you
didn't
go.
like the drum roll.
Yeah, the bird was
Dreadpool.
like, oh man, he's farting. Let's get out of here.
Oh,
All right.
Pepper? Sorry,
She's
Pepper.
got. She freaked out. No, it was me. I drum rolled, and she was like, oh, "Whoa!" And I should have known
Nah.
that she would fly off.
So, yes, you can find me Dreadpool. The O's are actually zeros on Twitter, or X, and then Dreadpool. My actual channel on YouTube is at Dreadpool, and everywhere else just Linktree at Dreadpool, all letters, all caps, and that'll all these different places have links to all the other different places that I'm at. So that's the easiest ones to look at. Those three. So again, thanks for having me on. I'm glad I was able to
Woohoo.
join today, even with all the technical difficulties and all the technical jargon we had today too. So
No, it's fun.
yeah, it was a pleasure, and we will hear about Paul's pineapples later on.
And stop. Now I want pineapples so bad.
I heard he got an upside down one this time around.
Oh, no.
I'll make a pineapple upside down cake.
Oh, that sounds good. Never had that. Never had that before.
It's actually really good though.
You need a pineapple upside down cake in your life. Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Now I have to.
You know what? Maybe if we get sponsored by a pineapple company and send some to Paul, especially, yeah, that's a good idea.
Oh,
Pineapple.
I went to Doe Plantation and I was trying to get a sponsorship for Paul there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they said, "Oh, that guy in the wheelchair." So, but Dole Plantation knows who Paul is.
Nice. So he's probably their biggest buyer.
He probably is.
Well, Cozy, now that Pepper has flown the coop,
I don't even know where she is.
she's checking for Pepper.
Okay. All right. What we're doing outros.
Yeah. Where can we
Okay.
find Cozy Beluga?
You can find me at all the places where you find Cozy Belugas here on Thursday nights, either every Thursday or every Thursday, at least every other Thursday. At least every other Thursday. And then on TWSW Gaming on Fridays. You can also find me on Wasted with Wise on Fridays, along with Paul. And then on Sundays, here on 4GQ TV again, Majestic Mayhem.
Nice.
Oh, I guess I should talk about my other podcast some on.
Yeah, I was
I
like,
should probably talk about that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fridays Breakfast with Boom. Sundays Good Morning Xbox on Axel. What is it? What is it on YouTube? The Iconic Video Games Podcast, which is Axel 1324. He's got both on there, so that's where you find it. And then Gaming Beyond the Box Sunday nights at 7 p.m. right before Majestic Mayhem.
All right. Well, you can find Paul on many places on the internet. Emailing Dole for pineapples. Emailing other places for apples. But you can find him on Wasted with Wise, Retro Renegades. You can find him on 4GQ TV, the Xbox Ambassadors channel. I know I'm missing like 4 other podcasts of his. He's like on a podcast almost every day. I just can't remember. So, Jay, if you remember, just put it in the chat for him. But you can find him at CerebralPaul1 on most social medias. He's got his Twitch channel. I don't think he uses his YouTube channel, but go, if you find it, sub to him there as well. And put some pineapple emoticons in your username so he knows who you are. And then you can find me on 4ZQ TV. You can find me at upcoming conventions. Dreadpool and I should be attending MetroCon, trying to get into Tampa Bay Comic-Con, and maybe Spooky Empire in May, and Spooky Empire in October if Dreadpool gets a day off. Otherwise, it'll just be me and just one single beard there, not 2 beards. And we got some interviews coming up that Paul, I'm sure, is lining up for me because I can't remember everybody's name. But everybody who came out, thank you very much. And that is the end of our show.
Woohoo!